Hi, this is Mitch Doan, and along with Jamie Richardson, we're your hosts of the Break-Thru Active podcast. We aim to deep dive into health and fitness that will help bring you a better understanding of topics that are of interest to you and can help you on your own journey. If you are enjoying the episodes, we'd love for you to leave us a rating on the platform you listen to your podcasts. Enough from me, sit back, relax, and enjoy the episode. Hello everybody, this is Mitch from Break-Thru Active. I'm going to be talking about alcohol again today, keeping the theme of the week constant. Speak about this yesterday as well, and will be again today. Today I'm going to be talking about alcohol and the effect and the role that it has as it pertains to your sleep and as it pertains to your recovery. Okay, so this isn't going to be a super long one. I just want to touch on a few of the main points around this. Like myself, after speaking with a lot of you guys over the weeks, months, and years, I know that some of you guys enjoy a drink, whether it be with friends, whether it be with family, whether it be to celebrate, whether it be with your partner. And sometimes we know that a drink or two can turn into half dozen or a dozen if we get a little bit carried away. So I just want to talk about the impact that can have on our night's sleep after that, and also on our recovery the next day. So it's no secret that obviously when we are nursing a bit of a hangover, that we aren't going to be as likely to want to do too much, especially if we are looking to go to a workout or be active. So I'm not going to sort of talk about that, because I think we all understand how average you can feel when you've got a bit of a hangover there. But one of the main reasons why we do feel very average and why we do feel hungover is because we're dehydrated. So you've probably been told from other people. I remember getting told by my parents when I was younger that you should be drinking water in between every drink, and that's going to help you feel better the next day, and it's absolutely true. So if you are able to keep your water intake up in between drinks, or if like me, perhaps you do forget sometimes when you are out and about and having a drink, but if you are to forget that, when you get home, make sure you do drink a big bottle of water, and that's going to help you feel a lot better the next day. When we are drinking nothing but alcohol, our body is craving water to help keep you hydrated. And you've probably had examples when you have drank a lot of water and felt okay the next day, and other times when you haven't and you feel terrible. So try and keep that water intake up, because that is a huge part of what leads to that hangover feeling. Your body loses a lot of the vitamins and minerals and electrolytes that water can bring. Electrolytes you get, you may be able to supplement that with a Powerade or something, but a lot of those valuable vitamins and minerals your body does lose when you're drinking alcohol, so you need to replace it with water. Another big part of that hungover feeling and the recovery side of things is when you are getting interrupted sleep. So this has been really interesting for me. I do have a band now, and it's called a Whoop band, and what that does is it actually tracks your sleep very closely, the same way that a Fitbit or a Garmin or something does. And what this shows is how much deep sleep, how much REM sleep, and how much light sleep you get each night. Normally, if I've had a good night's sleep, half of my sleep is going to be made up of REM and deep sleep, which is considered to be quite good. So if I get 7 hours sleep, combined with REM and deep sleep, will be at least 3.5 hours. However, when I've been out drinking and the next day I have a look at this, it is far less. So I'm getting a lot of light sleep. I'm waking up a lot. I sometimes have anywhere between 20 and 30 disturbances, which means that I've actually woke up 20 to 30 times. Therefore, my body's in a state of light sleep or no sleep at all. So when I wake up, even though it might say that I have had 6 hours sleep, the quality of sleep is a lot worse, and I have been waking up a lot more, and a lot of that sleep is light. So obviously that's going to have an impact on how I feel the next day, because I'm just not as well rested. So that REM sleep and that deep sleep is the stuff that you're after. and alcohol definitely contributes to how much of that you get each night.
Hey guys, just very quickly, if you have been enjoying our podcast and you've been watching us on YouTube, I would love for you to subscribe to our channel. If you've been listening to our podcast, give us a follow, give us a 5-star rating on Apple or Spotify or wherever it is that you've been listening to us. It really helps the channel grow, and I would be extremely appreciative and grateful if you took a moment to do that for me. Okay, that's it from me. Enjoy the rest of the show.
On top of that, you are just going to more likely than not get less sleep altogether, unless you do become a very you are able to sleep in till 10, 11 or 12 o'clock the next day, especially if you've had a late night the night before. The chances of you getting 7 or 8 hours is pretty slim. And just like on a regular night, if you aren't getting as much sleep as your body needs, you are going to feel pretty crappy the next day. So if you do normally get 6 to 7 to 8 hours sleep, and then you have a night of drinking and you might only have 4, 5, 6 hours, and that's a couple less hours, and that's going to make a huge impact on your energy the next day, on your productivity, your mood as well. You can be a little bit more likely to snap at people perhaps if you're a bit tired. So the amount of sleep on top of the quality of sleep that I mentioned just before is going to be severely affected from this. Which you definitely do find, especially if you are needing to get up early the next day. I know that myself, I find it hard to sleep in. Even if I've been up till 2 a.m, I'll still probably wake up between 6 and 7, so not much sleep there. And the last thing that I do want to touch on is heart rate. So the band that I was mentioning before, my Whip band, just like a lot of the other watches and things, does track heart rate. Traditionally, I've got a fairly low heart rate, somewhere around the 40 to 43 beats per minute, which is fairly constant for me throughout the week and most nights. However, when I do go out drinking, this spikes significantly. So I've seen it as high as 60 beats per minute. Normally it's around the mid-50s after a night on that I've been out. So when you look at that, that's somewhere between 15 to 20 beats per minute higher than it normally is. Now, even some of you guys might think that 55 or 60 is still fairly low, but for me, when it compares to what I'm normally like, it's about 50% higher. So my heart is having to work that much harder to beat. It's beating 50%, an increase of 50% more, and an extra 15 to 20 beats each minute. It's working overtime to pump blood and oxygen around my body. And when your heart's beating faster than it's normally used to, then that's going to really sap your energy because it's working so hard to make sure your body still functions well. And for anyone of you guys who do have a band or a watch or something, I do challenge you guys to have a bit of a look at this after your next night out, and you will likely see a big difference in that heart rate there as well. So obviously, when your body and your heart is working a lot harder than it's used to, it's going to take its toll and sap your energy the next day, which on top of those other reasons that I've mentioned earlier, is going to also impact your energy and how you feel the next day. Not to mention from a health perspective, it's certainly not healthy if you're having those sorts of erratic changes in your resting heart rate. And one of the main indicators of health can be considered your resting heart rate. And for those people who do drink more often or they do drink heavily, that resting heart rate is going to be significantly higher. It adds to your stress, adds to your cortisol that your body produces, which is the stress hormone. So keeping that heart rate lower is certainly preferable, but it is certainly interesting when you see it go up such a huge amount when you have had a night of drinking. So just wanted to sort of have a bit of a discussion around those things there, and around the effects that alcohol has on sleep and recovery, because that is what ultimately leads to those hangovers after a night out, and what leads you to not feeling great the next day. So hope you've been able to take a little bit away from this, and like I mentioned, keep an eye on that resting heart rate next time you go out drinking, and I think you might be a bit shocked the next day. All right, thanks for listening, guys.
Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If there is a topic you'd like us to discuss that we haven't already, please make sure you reach out in Facebook Messenger and we'll do our best to cover it in the upcoming episodes. For those of you enjoying the podcast, we'd love for you to like, subscribe and leave us a rating. It really helps us grow and spread the good word. Hoping you're all having a great day, and we'll be sure to see you on the next one.